Welcome back to the Overheard Podcast, recorded live in Banff. My name is Daniel Rudel, and with me always is my co-host,
Matty Rage. Let's go.
Matty Rage is a little off camera today. He's got some eye problems again.
I don't know what I got in my eye at work. I got splashed in the face with like 10 different things this weekend, and something got my eye, and it's just fucked. So.
Yeah. So Matty Rage is here.
It looks like I got clapped out at the bar, but I didn't. I'm not a fighter.
Definitely a lover, not a fighter. So Matty Rage is here just off camera today. Our guest today is Jad Wills. Born in London in 1993, UK-born artist, musician, tourism photographer, made his way to Banff, Canada, arriving on Canada Day in 2025.
Nice.
Thanks so much for joining us today. How's the day going so far?
It's not too bad. It's a lovely sunny day.
Beautiful day.
Oh, yeah.
Aurora's been out. Yeah, it's magical.
I missed him again. I've seen him once since I've been here. I've been here like 12 years now. I think I've seen him once. And just like I'm always either in bed or also in bed when they're going on.
Yeah, I didn't catch him either. I always see the pics in the morning. If you are a fan of sleep and want to see all the pictures, go just join Alberta Aurora Chasers, and you'll see all the best shots in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
If it is your first time joining us, please don't forget to give us a little like and subscribe. I check the analytics every week. So does Matt. And a lot of people stumble into our show for a quick watch and don't subscribe. About 70% of you. So if you're one of those people, please do us a favor. Hit the like and subscribe. Costs you nothing. Helps us out tremendously. Back to Jad. Jad's creative path started early. At just 7 years old, he appeared on a BBC television program with his family in the year 2000. A moment that quietly followed him for years as people continued to tell him they had seen the episode, even though he never managed to watch it himself.
Yeah.
What's the story behind that? So I guess technology wasn't there.
It was like a home improvement show. It was called DIY SOS.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like they come to your house, they'll do up your room, but they actually had to vote. Like the watchers of the show had to vote for us to be on the show, and it was like a group of three. It was a choice of three different families, and yeah, it just kind of just followed. I remember being, because it was like between ages 7 and 8, and I started a new school age 8, and the head teacher literally said to the whole school, we're lined up on the playground, the whole school's lined up. It's like, hey, called me out of the class line and said, hey, this guy's just been on TV, go back to your line. And it was like what? Like
to be singled out as a young kid in front of the whole school, that's got to be put into the spotlight.
Yeah, and then it kind of just, every year I'd have someone message me saying, oh, I just saw you on TV. I was like, oh, why didn't you let me know? Because then I could have watched it.
Still haven't seen it?
This is like before recorded television. Like this is
so you still to this day have not seen it?
I've at the time I'd watched it.
Yeah.
And once or twice I'd watched it, but I haven't seen it for like over 20 years.
Amazing. I wish we could have got a clip from that. That would have been real, some real detective work.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
So music soon became a central focus, leading to his EP release in 2013 under his birth name, Jaden Fell. Alongside early radio play and live performance throughout 2012 and 2013.
Yeah.
Over time, Jad has evolved both personally and artistically, emerging under the new name Jad Wills. In 2025, he was selected to participate in the BBC Introducing Open Mic Night, performing alongside more than 150 artists as part of his BBC Radio 1 weekend in Liverpool, marking a significant milestone in his musical journey. Now based in the Canadian Rockies, Jad balances music with tourism photography, drawing inspiration from the landscape around him, long road trips, and live music wherever he can find it. He's currently preparing the release of his upcoming EP, with pre-orders opening at midnight on January 21st. That's tomorrow. And the full release landing on January 31 across vinyl, CD, and all digital major platforms. We have an early press right here, thankfully. Grounded, grateful, and focused, Jad is proud to be where he is today and of the people around him, both in Banff and back home. His outlook is simple and steady. Keep showing up, keep making music, work hard, and travel as much as possible. Before we get too far into things, we have to check in with our sponsors, of course. We have to say, well, we don't have to say, we love saying that this episode is brought to you by Drink Shaft. We'll be back in just a few seconds. Winter in Banff hits different. Cold air, frozen mornings, and that brief stillness before the day kicks off. Fuel your early starts with Drink Shaft, the non-alcoholic, all-natural espresso energy drink made for mountain days and the longer ones around the house or the office. Find Drink Shaft in over 1,000 stores across Western Canada. Grab one before you head out on your next adventure. Remember that seasons change, but Drink Shaft, it always stays the same.
All right, we're back, baby. Let's go.
We are back. We got to give a special thank you to the Brew Pub for having us in their beautiful tap room today. Tons of locally produced beers. Come and get yours today. If you're a fan of the show, you will know that this is not the first time we sat down with Jad Wills. We caught up with him just 6 weeks after he arrived in Banff this summer at the Canmore Folk Fest. You can find the interview on our Instagram page. You have to scroll a ways down because, like, looking back, that was a while ago now.
That was like early summer, midsummer?
Early summer, yeah, August. So he would have arrived July, and we spoke, just 6 short weeks later. Since we first talked, how's your life changed?
Wow. I'd say the major thing would be the weather.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, yeah.
Like, the one thing that's been wild is, like, every day from, like, October, November to December, every day felt like the coldest day I'd ever felt.
It hasn't even been that
so
cold
far.
yet.
And then it was just like, and that's what everyone kept saying, like, don't trust me, it gets colder. And I'm like, oh, okay. But, other than that, it's just been amazing out here. There's so many cool things. It's difficult to list all the cool things.
So how this episode came to be, we met at the Folk Fest, right?
Yeah.
Didn't see each other for a while. Maybe like 2 months ago? Maybe 2 months ago, I roll into my one of my favorite cannabis dispensaries, and who's working the till?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a pretty good gig.
Yeah, no doubt.
Good way to meet people, that's for sure.
Yeah. There is some interest. I mean, like, I don't think he'll mind me mentioning, but you had, like, Shawayne on.
Yeah,
Shawayne,
You know, he'll come in and say hello, maybe have a coffee and upstairs and, and we'll connect. And, there's a lot of artists and a lot of artists that like to consume, I guess.
Like the partake a little cannabis.
I think that kind of goes hand in hand. Like that's not a new thing by any means.
Yeah. Definitely helps the creativity, I guess.
I think so. I don't know. Maybe certain times it does, certain times it doesn't.
Yeah.
Maybe the creativity, maybe not so much the motivation.
Yeah,
But depends who
definitely.
So we talked about, in our first interview at the Canmore Folk Fest, we talked about you're wanting to go snowboarding. Is that something that you've done since we last chatted?
Not snowboarding, no. So I decided to go the skiing
route.
direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
What caused that?
It was more, I don't know. I spoke to a few people and Devon. So
Big shout out.
Shout out Devon, great musician. Also at the store, but so we talk a lot, and he was like, dude, try skiing. And I'm like, okay, like, it's one or the other. I haven't done either, so
Absolutely.
Yeah, really, you don't know what you're missing, right? So yeah.
So I have been up. I've done a day training at Lake Louise. It was amazing out there. It was also raining by the end of the day, so that was a bit different experience.
That can get kind of shitty real quick.
That must have been quite recent then.
Yeah, it was last month.
Yeah, nice.
So, but I'm going to be back up end of the month. Do some night skiing end of the month. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. So I came from Ottawa. Like, night skiing is primarily what I did in my teens, because you would, like, work your day job or whatever, but all the ski hills are open until 10 p.m. So any night of the week, 7 days a week, you could, like, drive from Ottawa to the ski hill and then ski till 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Also, with the ski snowboard thing, how I describe it, so especially, it depends. I would sell it to you depending on how long you're going to be here, right? So, like, skiing, your first day on skis is going to be easier than your first day on snowboards, right? So, like, you're going to be maybe a little bit less sore. You might spend a little bit less time on the ground. Mm-hmm. But the learning curve to become a technically sound skier is much, much longer, we'll say.
Yeah.
Whereas a snowboard, you're tough. Your first day is going to be tough. Your butt's going to hurt. Your wrists might hurt. You're going to spend a lot of times on your knees and your butt. But the learning curve, once you kind of grasp it, you don't have to be as technically sound to be a good snowboarder, I feel.
Okay.
Like sloppy style, and that is kind of more.
I've never been
part
on
of
it. I've never been on a pair of skis, so I have no idea.
Well, skis, you got more edge to deal with, right? There's there's
fair.
kind of more going on as far as moving parts. So, that's kind of how I would say. First day on skis, it's going to be easier, but it's going to be more difficult to become to that pro level where you feel like you got it. Where snowboard's kind of the opposite. Your first day is really tough, but by 10 days in, you could probably kind of link some turns and get something.
I was pretty slow on my first day out here. I grew up as a park rat back in Ontario, so it's like go down the run, hit some kickers, hit a couple of boxes.
Yeah.
So I was not so fast on the big mountain out here.
Fair.
When you get here and you're just like, this is a goddamn blue run? You're like, how is this a blue?
Well, that's the thing. I've met people from the UK, from Australia specifically, right? Because they have a lot of surfers there where translating surfing to snowboarding, they tend to pick it up like that. It's frustrating because they think it's so good so quick. Yeah. It's just about how many times you go, though, right?
No, definitely.
What would be your advice to anyone that wants to make their life here in Banff and stay here long term? Obviously, you've made that transition here recently. How was that for you? And if you could speak to yourself maybe back when you moved here, what advice would you give yourself?
Stop thinking about it.
Okay,
Just do
cool.
it.
Yeah.
You can wait as long as you want to do something like this. I've never done this before. It's the first time I've lived in another country. It's the first time that I've been away from everyone, friends, family. And if you think about it too much, it sounds quite rubbish. Like you're away from, we just had Christmas. We're away from, it's big family time. But the pros definitely outweigh the cons. Like
I would agree.
Just look at the town. You're surrounded by mountains, 360 degrees, and everyone else here working here is in the same boat.
Yeah.
Like everyone is away from their families, their friends. We're all just here to enjoy where we are and I don't know, be alone together type thing. I don't know.
I would certainly agree with you there that there's always going to be a reason not to do something. Yeah. Right? Like being away from family, all these stuff. These are cons that maybe kept you away from becoming who you are today and growing and moving away from your hometown, I think, is something that it's not for everyone. Or granted that, but it's definitely an experience that'll change you as a person.
Oh yeah.
I would
say. You either have a really good time here or you get Banffed and you go home pretty quick. So
have you seen people come and go since you've been here?
Yes, definitely. Because it's been 7 months for me, and I'm in staff accommodation. So people come and go. There's a conveyor belt of people. People's visas ending. One guy got a concussion. His name was Josh. He's a lovely lad from Manchester. Got a concussion and then wasn't allowed to leave his house in the summer. And then, just because of the concussion, medically had to stay home, wasn't allowed to drink, wasn't allowed to enjoy himself. And it was like, that would suck.
For sure.
So he had to go home in the end, because it was like, he can sit in a room anywhere.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, it's a pity, it's a shame, but I hope he does come back and get to experience Banff the way he should.
Well, again, it's a very common thing, and I tell people all the time when they leave. I've seen countless people come and go. Same with Matt over the years. Yeah. And Banff will always be here. Yeah. It never really changes that much. No. Sure, a couple restaurants might close and open, couple new bars, but the core lifestyle, it truly stays the same, right? Yeah. Whether
it's going to be the year is just kind of the same. It's cold as shit for 8 months of the year, and then it's pretty nice for 4 months of the year, and then you just do it all over again. You might have a shitty winter. You might have not the best snow conditions, but
not the case this year.
No,
Let's go. Jad, what's something about living in the Bow Valley that friends from back home? So when we talked about that in that first interview, we had tons of comments from it seemed like your friends back home. What's the hardest part to explain to someone, say, that's never been here, on what makes it so special?
I'd say similar to how Banff never changes, the mountains don't change. Mm-hmm. Everything has been here for however long. Mountains, millions of years. However, I don't know how old they are. But, they're old. We're just existing here. Where life is flying by, and it's really hard to explain that you have to be here to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't explain, like, we're probably, with the ski joring at the weekend. And it's hard to explain. Oh yeah, I'm going to work, but before that, I'm just gonna go watch some dudes do backflips on snowboards, being pulled by a horse on the street. And it's like, I never knew it was a thing until last week.
For sure.
And then it's like, oh, I'm gonna go check this out. And it's like, that is really cool. And the Cowboys are in town.
I think there's like a feeling of Banff, right? Like being surrounded by the mountains. You go to other towns, Canmore, Golden. You don't feel so embraced by the mountains, like they're right on top of us here in Banff, and like First Nations and different groups of people, they believe that there's like a spiritual connection to this place, and like there is a feeling here, and especially Lake Louise. There's one cross country trail that I do, the Fairview Trail, and there's one point specifically. You get to this little meadow, and it's always so quiet, and it's like it's a different feeling for sure. What's something that you found since moving here from the Bow Valley specifically that's become important to you that maybe surprised you?
I'd say the music scene. I was thinking about this because I love a music scene no matter where I've lived in the past. And here, because everything's so fluid, the music scene is constantly changing as well.
For sure.
But you've got some, staples in the community. You've got Gary at Tommy's
Big shout out.
on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like last night, I'm playing at the Same Sun with Liam. So you've got some like musical hubs, and you've got like the DJing. There's so much. You've got the musicians in town, and the music scene is quite. It's something different, very different to what I'm used to back where I lived before.
For sure.
But I'd say music scenes are always fun, no matter where you are, and Banff has lived up to it for sure.
I know. Yeah. I was like, when I moved out here, same thing. I'm like, man, there's like way more musicians than I thought there would be. Like, maybe not in the metal scene that I was in, but there's not a whole lot of heavy metal bands out here. But man, like when I started DJing, I'm like, there's no DJs in town. Now I'm just like, there's a lot of DJs in town.
Big time.
Like, no shortage of musicians out here, DJs or people that are in that scene, even artists as well. Like it's wild.
This one may be a little off script here, but I've talked to multiple artists that aren't in the dance music genre. How do you feel about the younger kind of generation's thirst for dance music instead of like blues or country or folk, which is kind of like more your alley?
I mean, I love dance music anyway.
Fair.
Fair enough.
I'd say one of the first festivals I went to was like the lineup was Prodigy, Chase and Status.
Oh, dude, that's a banger.
But I was 16, and it was like it was just it's memorable to this day. And people are still listening to Chase and Status today, and that shows how good they are. But also, I know. Lots of people love drum and bass. I love drum and bass, but it might not be my style of music, but I definitely appreciate many different art forms.
For sure. I just ask because like we've talked to like a number of different musicians kind of in the more rock genre or blues or, folk or country. And it's like there's almost not a frustration, but a like.
I used to hate DJs, man. And now I am one. I was like,
why do the DJs get booked and we don't get booked?
No, it's just like, I don't know. I was just like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like being a jackass, I guess. It's like, oh, you're going to book a DJ instead of booking us? It's like, well, it's way easier to pack a club full of people if it's not like rip your face off heavy metal. Like, I mean, in a big city, okay, you got a scene for it, but no, I took the if you can't beat them, join them approach.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been in discussions, maybe trying to dabble in some DJing as well.
There you go. There you go.
Man, the crossovers these days, like it really doesn't matter. You can be in any type of music, and the crossover, like I feel like genres in music are so loose now.
Well, dude,
that sticking to one is almost like a downfall in a sense.
Like
everyone's
there's DJs like Vastiv who will just like come out with like a 7-string on stage and just like rip and then right into a drop.
That's it.
It's just like there's some heavy stuff out there. If you're a metal kid, there's some music out there in the EDM scene that you'd probably be right into.
The possibilities are endless. We touched on this earlier. As you said, people coming and going. You've even seen in your 7 months here, people come and leave before you. How do you decide who and what to invest in a place that's so transient, especially being like a new person here?
That's a difficult one.
It is, right?
Because it's. I mean, first of all, the town comes alive on a Sunday and a Wednesday, and it was like who decided that? Like, going from like your 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, you live for the Friday night, the Saturday night, and hungover on the Sunday, and back to work on the Monday. Like, that's the norm for most people. But here, there's always something going on. There's always a birthday. There's always a leaving party. There's always something going on, or it might be like one bar turning into a club for the night, like
for sure.
The
tap room will have DJs and it goes off and all your buddies are there, so you have to go, right?
But the thing is, you definitely got to get some rest. Like at some point, I did try at one point in the summer going out every single night for a week, and we almost made it. But eventually I just needed rest because I'm also working 2 jobs at the same time.
For sure.
And it's like, there's only so much you can do. So rest for me is important. And then trying to not miss opportunities. Like, I've got a couple of buddies that are leaving in a few days. So we went to the escape room just to spend some time together before they left.
For sure.
But just being ready to capture those moments, those memories when they happen. Like, I had a really rubbish phone. When we were talking about the Aurora, a really rubbish phone, coming back from Calgary and past Cochrane, and you had the Northern Lights, and I couldn't see it on my phone.
Yeah.
So, but it's just making sure you've got a decent phone to take pictures and moments.
To capture those memories,
Once you miss it there and then, you're unlikely going to be in that same spot at that same time, same conditions.
True.
That moment is gone. So just be ready with a battery pack, hopefully, because my phone's dead right now. I didn't charge it last night. So yeah, having a battery pack's helpful.
Amazing. What would be your perfect Bow Valley or Banff day? What kind of does that look like for you? If money was no option and you didn't have to work, what would be your perfect day?
Seriously, probably floating down the river.
Cool.
Good float days always nice.
Yeah. Because I did like a couple hours on the canoe in the summer, and it was just amazing because you're just in silence, you're floating down the river, but it's not. Yeah, that's where I am in that moment at that time. But thinking like hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, that probably would have been the preferred mode of transport.
For sure.
And it's looking at the views that, First Nations people would have seen, okay, it's a necessity to travel, but you're getting to experience that even just for a couple of hours.
It's a great point.
It's magical. Like, it's unreal. Like, I come from like more city background, more everything's concrete, everything's built up.
Yeah.
This is very much the opposite. You're just Banff's 4 square miles or something
4
like
square
that.
kilometers,
4 square
the town site, yeah.
So you're just this tiny, town in such an amazing national park. And the national park's been a national park since Canada.
Yeah. Banff is the first World UNESCO Heritage Site, I believe. So it's been like the first protected national site for a long, long time. One thing that always freaks me out, and I kind of wanted to say this earlier, and I forgot about it, I'm glad you brought it back up, is if you ever go, I love going on the Facebook page, Encyclopedia of Banff.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll see these pictures of like, say Banff Ave or like places by the river. Like there was one that was taken. We did an episode with Peter Poole outside of the Rutherford Cottage.
Oh yeah, right.
And pictures outside of the Rutherford Cottage, you see them from like the early 1900s, and you're like, I've stood there. Like we did an interview there. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
To think that we share the same. You're stepping on the same ground.
Yeah.
That for hundreds and hundreds of years, people have been coming here and like showing this place off, and now we get to, right? It's pretty surreal.
It is feeling. Definitely. I'd say it's similar to like the weekend reminded me a lot of like Camden.
Yeah.
In London, it's super busy, very, very a lot of foot traffic. But I don't know. we get to experience this here. You know, people come in from all over, and this is just like every day. This is just the norm. Like
living here is definitely a different experience than just coming here, right?
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, like you still had to work the other day. You got up, you went to this crazy event. Honestly, people have been posting about skiing like worldwide. Like it's
it's insane.
it's insane.
I met a couple upstairs actually at the brew pub a couple weeks ago, and they're like, "Yeah, we're from the States. We're just following the tour around." They're going to like every single. They're like, it's like following the Grateful Dead. They're just like going around like to event. I'm like, it's going to be the same thing in another town, but I mean that it would be pretty sick. Like,
I mean, whatever you're into, I guess it's pretty rowdy. I wonder which stop would be the rowdiest.
Probably Banff.
Well, we'll get to Ski-Jour in a little bit too. Let's move on to the music a little bit. How would you describe your sound, or what genre are you into for those who've never heard you play before?
It's very bluesy. It's very bluesy. It's a little bit country. I'd say I've taken a bit of inspiration from people like Hosier, Stevie Ray Vaughan, who I was actually in his top 1,000 listeners.
Amazing.
Nice.
Last year, which is unreal. At that point, it's like I could have been 500, 700, but at that point, it's like basically I was one of the people in the world, one of 1,000 that listened the most.
That's it.
Last year. But so yeah, a lot of Stevie Ray Vaughan inspiration. People like Muddy Waters, Robert Johnson.
Nice.
It's definitely soulful. I'll give you that. It's got some heart to it.
Yeah, even like Jules Holland. Like rhythm and blues. I listen to a lot of it. A lot of my granddad's sort of. That's a lot what he listened to, like reggae, country, a lot of like country Christian music, and we'd just sit and listen to it. And this was kind of, partly for him as well. Just before he passed, I managed to get a demo recorded. I started recording it a month before he passed.
Yeah.
And just before he did, a week before he passed away, I was able to play a demo for him and say, "Hey, Grandad, this is something I'd like to listen to," and he liked it. He said it's not his thing. Thanks, man.
Damn. Well, I mean, while we're on the topic, this EP has quite the story behind it. Do you wanna dive into how this EP came to be and the inspiration, the motivation behind it?
I'd say the first 2 tracks I wrote when I was at university. That would have been about 2013, 2014. So I wrote them a long time ago.
Yeah.
I just released my first EP, 2012, 2013, and was still writing music, but that was very poppy. It was very... It sounded like it came from a 16-year-old. I mean, it did, but it sounded like it. And I didn't really, there was a lot of inspiration from people like Ed Sheeran and Justin Bieber, and, I had just watched him live, and actually, it was fun, but this was very more real. Yeah. This felt more real. I'd been playing the first track as part of a band at university. We called ourselves the Jack Daniels.
Nice.
Three of the guys were called Daniel.
Funny.
And then there was a James and a Jaden, so J's and D's. So we called ourselves the JDs, the Jack Daniels.
Nice.
But we just played like covers, but that was one of the songs we played. But also, I'll shout out the Flits. 2 of the guys, James and Dan, are still in a band in Camden. And they're killing it out there. And yeah, they're having a great time. They're doing really well. But this was, I just played at open mic nights. Like the first 2 tracks, I've only ever played them at open mic nights for 10, 12 years. Until I even had one guy come up to me say, "Oh, I love this song. I haven't heard this song in years." He had never heard it before in his life. But
what a compliment, though.
To make it sounded like something he'd heard before, but had never heard it.
Exactly.
was quite a compliment. And then one day you had a gentleman back home in Southport called Lenny. There's a massive music scene. You're around Liverpool. Southport itself has its own music scene. Everyone's really talented. You've got, there's bands, there's T-Toyd. You've got the Four Kings. You've got, Adam and... everyone's really lovely. Josh, C, that everyone helps each other. And Lenny had the music studio and was like, "Hey man, you should record this. And that's what we did. And it was once a week, every Saturday for an hour for 6 months. And we just recorded it. The first song took the longest. It's the most extravagant, I think. There's a lot going on in it. Yeah. But going back to the story of it, 10 years ago, I'm playing at a wedding, my dad's wedding. And I said to my grandparents, I want to record this. I want to get it on vinyl. I like physical art, like physical music. Unfortunately, I never could give it to them. You know, they were taken 4 years ago. It was a very drastic time of my life. The first year, so this time 4 years ago, I didn't really go out much, but I made sure I did. 3 years ago, I had a buddy, Leanne, who was like, "Hey, you need to come to an open mic night." And I didn't want to, but I did. She made me.
Just kind of get out of your fun.
She's like, you're coming whether you like it.
And then, you know, it's like you're just meeting like-minded people that love music. And it was Josh's open mic night it was called the Glass House. And it was 2 bottles of wine for £10 on a Wednesday.
Oh God, yeah. That sounds like Wine Wednesday at the old Rosencrantz. Yeah.
So, you know, and then we went from open mics. We were in a band. You know, formed a band, a ska band called Tetoid. That was fun. And then, you know, my granddad's getting on well, so I had to step back. They're still going. They're still lovely. They're still making music. One thing, we played at the Cavern open mic night. The Cavern is where, you know, the Beatles first.
Oh, sick. Very cool.
You know, they made it big in Liverpool in the Cavern. Yeah. So we played in the pub, not the club, but technically the club doesn't exist when the Beatles played it. That Cavern, they rebuilt it when they made a tube underground station. So it's technically not the same building, but you know, the sentiment's the same. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Even the pictures in here, like this, I'll show you as well. That and that in the inside. That was my view home, driving home every day.
Oh wow.
In the town. I stopped to take a picture, carried on, went home. That back, again, the town. That's where it was made, where it was recorded, and there's a lot of memories there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty wild stuff. When you sit down to say write music, what does your creative process look like? What comes to you first? Do you like start with a melody? Are you starting with lyrics, or is it something that's kind of all coming together at the same time?
That's difficult to say. Sometimes it's one and then the other, or both at the same time. So I've been writing some songs here while I've been here, and there was one where I'm just sitting down and I just started noodling on the guitar.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard C60 before. He's just some dude. He plays like 1-string guitars. He plays 2-string guitars. He builds them all himself. He's just a real G. He's like retirement age. Like he's lived life, and now he just lives life on a stage with his mates and buddies. But I've listened to a lot of his music, a lot of Hosier. It's very finger picky, and I'll try and finger pick as well. And I'm like, oh, that sounds nice. I'll record it, and then maybe later on another day, I'm listening to my noodles. It's like, oh, this sounds like this word would work. I might just write a phrase, or one song I just wrote like a whole verse while I was at work.
Nice.
I was like,
fair enough.
I was like, I just wrote a verse, and then it went from there, and I played it at an open mic night, and then that song is ready to record now. Like, yeah, I guess that's the next thing as well.
So almost like I would kind of like a comedian almost, right? Like you say you have a joke or you have like a piece that you think could work.
Yeah.
You could kind of mash them up from a bunch of different pieces, put it together.
Yeah.
And then when you have something coherent, like that's pretty cool. And no project, like you said, like you don't have, so say I'm going to sit down and write a song today. It doesn't have a specific recipe, we'll say, right? Like I sit down and have a coffee, I write the intro, and then I write, right? So it's kind of...
I've done it like so many different ways. It's like write a breakdown or write a verse or like really cool riff, and then you just like park it for 6 months, and you're like come back and you're like, oh man, like that's a sick riff. I got to do something with that. Like
last week I was talking about the shower being my most creative
Okay.
place. Where's your most creative place?
Banff definitely is very creative. There's a lot of. There's been times when I've just sat by the river and just played.
For sure.
Just away from people, and I'm just playing. I think if you go down the river this way, you've got a little bit of tunnel, and I've gone up tunnel slightly, and people are on the main road. I'm just playing, and people can hear a guitar but can't see where it's coming from. So I've definitely, this space is amazing.
Yeah. That'd be a sick YouTube video to have you playing and just watch people's reaction as they're walking by. That would be awesome.
How do you when you're writing? How do you kind of determine when a song's done? Because I know I'm horrible for it. I'll work on something for like ever. Yeah. And you just keep tweaking it and tweaking it. How do you decide when it's done? You just call it? Or?
It will never be done.
Yeah.
The songs will never be done, and I don't think I'll ever have songs that will be done. I'm sure these ones, there's a few moments just like, I could have done that differently.
Yeah.
But at some point, you just got to say, hey, this is it. So my point was, I'm leaving the country. So this is it. This is what we have to do. Because recorded it all back home. Everyone involved in it was really, really. I'm really grateful they were involved in it. I've spoken to a few of them. Spoken to a few people back home. They're all still releasing music as well. And I've got a friend, C, who they've released their EP called I procrastinated on this for too long. Perfectionism.
For sure.
Stops people. And I'm really sorry, C, I can't remember the name of your EP. But please check it out. The songs will never be done. So at some point you just got to call it. Like this, I didn't have a name for the EP until we'd booked on the show. Amazing. I was like, I need to give it a name because, it had no name. And I just thought, right, Ramblin' Blues, I ramble.
Yeah.
A lot. Oh, okay. And these are the blues that I do while I ramble.
That's awesome. This EP, right? Well, I guess like you said, your songs are never finished, but with this particular project, right, you have to end it somewhere and you have to make a decision, even with the name.
Yeah.
So I guess I kind of think of our show like that too. It's kind of like a snapshot in time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough.
What would this snapshot in time in your life capture?
Oh, I'd say summer 2023. No,
so specific. That's awesome.
One of the songs I wrote in summer 2023, and so the first two I wrote a long time ago, and they were kind of just shelved. I'd only ever played them at open mic nights. They didn't exist anywhere except at an open mic. The third song, I actually, it's called "I Like to Smoke and Get a Little High Every Day."
Don't we all?
Yeah, and I have had to put it on like parental advisory. Like the song is literally about smoking. And that was kind of summer 2023. That was at this point we're in full swing with the band and open mics, and I think I must have been doing about 6 open mics a week.
Wow,
in 5 nights. So one night I'd be doing 2 in the same night.
That's crazy.
And I was doing 6 a week in 5 days. So life was just busy, but everyone's on the same vibe. Everyone's doing the same thing. There's a ton of musicians, like everyone's a musician, almost. It feels like it because there's so many and everyone vibes and there's one group. And that summer was just amazing. We were going to festivals, we're going to gigs, we're doing on road trips. One road trip we did, it was like a 12-hour drive to Cornwall. We stayed one night in Cornwall. I then flew to the Isle of Scilly, just because there was a couple mates from back home, from our town, that went there on like a working holiday, similar thing to here.
Yeah.
So we just drove 12 hours and took a flight to go see them.
Just a casual trip.
It was just. And sadly, I was the only one who made it because everyone missed their ferry. I decided to fly because you can only go there for a day trip.
Yeah.
If you don't have a hotel, you can't stay on the island.
Okay.
So I was like, well, I don't want to spend 3 hours on a ferry one way to spend 3 hours on a ferry coming back. spend 6 hours on water. So I took the 15-minute flight. I think it's like the UK's shortest flight or something.
Wow.
Yeah, it's literally up and down. 15-minute flight, and that was a great summer. So that's the snapshot of this EP. It's just having fun with friends, and this wouldn't exist without my friends. So
amazing.
You know, I'm very truly grateful to them. I've said it to them many times, and I'll keep saying it. Tides Out Studio, that's where we made it. Lenny's an actual G. I don't know if he'd want me to say, but he has got an MBE. So that's like an award from King Charles that he gives out on his birthday.
Crazy.
You know? So he'll give it out to many people.
Yeah.
But he was one of the people selected for his work with schools and education and music. So he has his own personal studio, but he like lets locals use it. He's the one playing guitar in the first song. Like, he walks in, he's just absolute G. It's like, oh, I'd love to sing on this song. Oh no, I'd love to play on this song. I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, I can't say no.
Sure.
Like,
it's your studio.
But he just pulls out this Gibson, like vintage Gibson, shreds. It's like, that'll do. And
that'll do.
And we're like, what do you mean that'll do? That's absolutely incredible. The guy's amazing.
Right on.
But yeah.
What about gigs coming up? Can people catch you sometime soon?
So we are playing on the 23rd. We're doing it as part of Snow Days.
Yeah, Snow
4
Days.
PM.
Oh, sick.
Playing again on the 29th.
Amazing.
Same event, and then I'm looking at some other things. There's a few other places that will have musicians, like the studio hair salon in Wolf and Bear.
Nice.
So they'll have musicians. So I'm going to try and play there and play to people getting their hair cut.
Nice.
You know,
why not?
With Cassidy and Gio. But
have you ever linked up with Oessa Arts at all?
Oessa Arts, no.
I'll give you contact with them all and those guys out there.
Yeah.
'Cause they're really great with promoting local artists and helping them get out there for sure.
Where can because the EP comes out tomorrow night, right? Tomorrow at midnight?
The pre-sales tonight, midnight.
Okay.
So this is where you can start saving things on Spotify, Apple Music,
Cool.
Amazon. Like the pre-sale for the vinyl, the CD, all of that happens tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Everything comes out on the 31st, last day of the month.
Cool.
So it's going to be fun. I've got these little stickers being made at Defending Awesome.
Nice. Good job.
They're going to have I've become like a regular for making quirky things. Like I had like "'Twas the Nizzle before Chris Mizzle, all through the hizzle," and I just walked in and was like, "Hey man, I need this on a jumper." I had "I Am Kenough" from the Barbie movie.
Oh, amazing.
I had that made on a hoodie to go to, because I went to LA. I went to the Pink Pony Club, the Abbey, in Santa Monica, and had "I Am Kenough."
Amazing.
I'm like riding around Hollywood on a motorbike. I thought it'd be funny. But yeah, I'm getting some stickers made. It will have like because this is the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
I took that picture at the Grand Canyon. I landed in Arizona. Overnight, had a sleep. My brother picked me up at 9 a.m. 10 a.m. we're on the road from the Harley Davidson shop. 6 hours later, we're at the Grand Canyon.
Wow.
250 miles. There was Route 66 involved, Flagstaff, Arizona. There was a whole lot of stuff. Took a picture and came back.
Some
Not a bad
iconic
trip.
shots.
You know,
Not a bad trip at all.
So a lot's gone into this. So yeah, I'm excited, and yeah, we're gonna have little stickers. If anyone who buys it here, I'll sign it. I'm here.
Yeah.
Anyone back home, unfortunately, I'm not there. I can't sign it. It's not me making the CDs. They get made in the UK.
Yeah.
By a company called Elastic Stage, and they get made one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
That way, I don't need to carry loads of stuff.
Smart.
So I'll have these QR codes. I'm going to be busking in the spring and the summer. And if anyone wants it, they can have it. It's a sticker.
Sick.
But I can sign one and send it. to anyone that buys one. It's going to cost me a load of money. Probably any money I make from the CD. If I post you a sticker,
it will be used for that.
That's all the money gone. Like, so I'm going to make no money from it. The music's all going to be on SoundCloud as well. I've always put my music on SoundCloud.
Very cool.
You can listen to it for free. I don't care about that side of things.
For sure.
It's just there. It's just art.
Anytime you're doing something creative, if you're doing it for money, like it shows, right? It's about getting the product out there. It's about getting that out there.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why we don't charge our viewers, it's like you want people to see your product. You don't want, it's why is it important for you to have physical music like CDs and vinyls?
That's a good story. It's not important. It's not. Yeah. But I personally like physical music. Like I love to go into things like bargain basements or sales where it's like just record sales.
Yeah.
And just looking through their bargain bins. I've picked up so many random records. Like if you remember Wyclef Jean and The Rock did a song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was like It Doesn't Matter. I've got that on vinyl.
That's great.
And I picked it up for £2 and it was something no one wanted. It might have had a scratch on it. There's no way of knowing, but it sounds great and it's fun and I've got it. So, whereas Apple now, like you used to have to pay for iTunes for music.
Yep.
These days it's just streams and you make no money from it.
No.
So I'm not in it for the money. It's just to have it. It's just there. It's a snapshot, like we said before.
For sure.
It's a reminder of what was, and there's more to come. So.
Plus, it's gonna be cool. Like, say you have a family and say, like, I made this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's awesome to have a physical copy. I
Yeah.
would agree with you there.
Like, my mom's gonna have one, my dad's gonna have one, and I'm getting one for the studio. So I know there's definitely gonna be three bought that I'm gonna buy myself.
Just paying yourself, are you?
So I'm gonna buy those. But other than that, if anyone buys it, that's amazing because I love buying music.
Yeah.
If I go to a gig, I'll buy a T-shirt. I love buying. So I went to the Wailers, one of the best gigs I ever went to. Don't need to get into that, but it was amazing.
Well, I kind of agree with you. Like that's why since I don't party anymore, when I go to see a band, I buy a shirt because it's like you get to remember that night, something to take with you. And I would agree. It's having something physical to remember your experience is always something great.
Yeah.
When you think about your next chapter, do you feel like you're going to stay more rooted here in the Valley, or are you more open to where the road leads next?
I am not sure. It depends. I'm quite open to the opportunities. It depends what opportunities come my way. Sometimes I have to make my own opportunities. Sometimes an opportunity might be presented to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know what where I'll be in the next year.
Cool.
And I'm quite open to that. I arrived in Canada with a suitcase and a carry-on, and I probably need 2 suitcases now.
I need a U-Haul at this point.
Accumulated quite a few things, which I'd said I'd never do, but I've got 2 suitcases now. But other than that, I've still compact enough to move around if I needed to. There's a bunch of places I want to try. I started in Vancouver, arrived in Banff the night before Canada Day. So my first day in Banff was Canada Day.
That's a wild party to show up. What a party to show up.
And then started work the day after. Like it was literally just
boom,
constant.
boom, boom,
been to Vancouver Island, been to Vancouver, but I want to keep going east.
Cool.
But even places like the Yukon. I'd love to check out the Yukon. I can't forget other places.
There's a whole big spot in the middle there where there's just nothing.
Yeah.
Like when I came out on the bus, we had this French guy beside me. He's like, "Oh man, what lake is that?" I'm like, "What lake?" And he's like, "That one there. There's an island out there." I'm like, "That's just a couple of trees in the middle of a field, man." He's like, "No, that's a lake." I'm like, "It's not a lake, dude. It's just an expanse of friggin' nothing, like just for miles as far as you can see."
Yeah, but this is all new to me. I did 2024. I did 10,000 miles on my motorbike.
Nice.
I did 7,500 of those in 3 months.
Crazy.
There's a lot of visiting family, but I spent 49 weekends away from home. People thought I'd moved away.
Yeah.
Because I was working Monday to Friday, and then every weekend I was just somewhere else. But I ended up doing 10,000 miles in that year, and that's in England, Scotland, Wales. There's so much to see here.
Oh yeah.
3 years isn't enough. Fair. 2 years isn't enough. 1 year is definitely not enough. So yeah, I'm not sure where I'll be, but there's so much I'd like to try out, like Niagara Falls, Montreal, even like Halifax. There's so much to see.
There's lots, and there's lots of varying country. Like if you think of those places you just mentioned, Montreal, Halifax, Banff, Vancouver Island, all of those, you could take a picture in all of those cities and they would look like a different country to someone who didn't know, right? Yeah. So super cool, man. Keep exploring. Keep spreading your vibe around Canada for sure. You want to play a little tune for us? You want to give us a little sneak peek of what your vibe is like?
For sure, yeah.
Let's do it. You want to grab your guitar and we'll get a little tune going. Then we'll jump into our new segment, You Didn't Hear It From Us, because this weekend was quite crazy.
It was insane.
First of all, while he's getting his guitar, the complaining on social media has just been incessant, right?
Oh, it was like,
oh my God, like you know it's going to be a big event. Anyways, we'll get to that in just a moment. Let's hear a little tune from you here.
Let's give it a go, man. This is the first song. It's called "I'll Give You Anything You Need as Long as You Keep Your Loving for Me." Nice long intro as well. Wanna build you a house, honey, and I'll buy you a shiny new car. I don't have lots of money, so I know I won't get very far. But I work my finger to the bone if it means that you will have that home. You got me hooked, line, and sinker. You know the baby, can't you see? I put a ring on that finger, and I'll give you a family. Baby, yeah, you're mine, and I'll be here for you all of the time. Hey, hey. Oh, oh, I give you anything you need as long as you keep your loving for me. Got time for another verse? Okay. I love it when you love me, and I love it even when you don't. I give it all for you, baby, and my boy thinking that is a joke. I know regard is deep, and that is all that matters to me. I wanna hold you close, knowing that you're always mine. I'm gonna love you the most, you know that, baby, I ain't lying. I'd sell off my every last breath if it means you're happy while I rest. Hey, hey. Oh, oh. I give you anything you need as long as you keep your loving for me.
All right.
nice.
That's great. That's
little
wicked.
taster. Yeah.
You're actually the first person to ever play live on the show.
There we go.
So thank you so much for that.
That's okay.
Okay, one thing I gotta ask, all right? I've always wondered this since I was a young child, and it kind of jarred in me while you were playing.
Yeah.
What happens to the UK accent when people start singing?
Oh, yeah.
It disappears. It's crazy.
I don't know. It's very strange. That's how the song feels to me, and it's always felt to me.
That's all that
it's
Stevie
very
Ray Vaughan you've been
strange.
listening
Not
to.
that I'm like accuse you of changing your voice or accent or anything, but it's very common with people from the UK in these styles of music that it's like it's It's gone when you start singing.
So I listen to a lot of blues. I've listened to a lot of blues. I think like the earliest memory of music for me is blues. Like being like 5 years old, and they had like rhythm of blues, like the 12-bar blues. I can remember a band coming into school and sitting in. But yeah, my earliest memories of blues. So I don't know. I don't know where the accent goes.
It's like it's with all singing. It's not just blues, but like it seems like if you think of like even the Spice Girls, right? Like that's pretty heavy accents, and when they go to sing, the accent is not there anymore.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I say even like Adele's from the same area of London, like Tottenham, and it's like. She sounds very Tottenham when she talks. For sure. And then you have Adele, and it's like, there's a, I get it,
oh, dude,
but I don't know how or why, but.
It's like one of the mysteries of the world. It's something I've always wondered. Like,
it's even
it happens with Irish people too, and like all these,
like Bring Me the Horizon, like they're from Sheffield, and it's like thick ass accent, and it's just like you hear him talk, and then you hear him sing, you're like, what the hell?
It's the same person.
I've seen them 4 times.
Oh yeah, they're awesome. Bring Me the Horizon.
They're so good.
And I must say before I move on to our next segment that the depth of your voice is phenomenal too, man. Like that's great stuff. All right, time for our new segment. You didn't hear it from us.
Didn't hear it from us, bud.
You didn't have to hear it from us. If you were around Banff this weekend, you would know that skiing was insane. I'm saying this officially for the first time, that skiing sold out Banff. Now, you didn't hear it from us.
We were sold.
We were sold out. Banff was sold out on Saturday.
Yeah.
You didn't hear it from us, but this past Saturday, it got busy enough that Parks Canada actually had to close the Mount Norquay exit off Highway 1 leading into town. Not because of an accident, not because of weather, simply because there was too many people. Between bluebird conditions and the free skiing event, Snow Days energy was in full swing this weekend, as you could see.
It was
the
wild.
park was slammed. Parking lots were filled early. Traffic was stacked. People were parked on the Vermilion Lake Road all the way down to the end and walking into town.
Oh yeah, people were parking in the compound as well as
people were parking on people's front lawns.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that across the corner
The
of my house.
Staffacom parking lot was full of non-staff parked cars.
Yeah.
So they had to shut down that access point in a deleted post. I think I have it here on my phone. Let me just pull it up here. This is a post that was put up by Banff Lake Louise Tourism.
Yeah, that's wild. When somebody told me that, I was like, there's no way. Like, I've been here 12 years. I've never seen them have to shut it down because it's like, they're just like, there's nowhere to go. Like, the restaurants are full, the parking's full, there's nowhere to go.
This was a joint post from Banff Lake Louise Tourism and Ski Resort Canada, which has since been deleted. It says, parking update for skiing Saturday, January 17th. Mount Norquay Road entrance to the town of Banff off the Trans-Canada Highway is now closed. All Banff parking lots are full. Another skiing show is happening tomorrow, Sunday, January 18th. For skiers at Lake Louise and Norquay, both ski hills are live streaming the skiing event. So I guess they're trying to keep people from leaving the ski hills to try to come to the town of Banff because they thought that might have been adding people to it.
Yeah.
I've heard crazy reports. I've heard 10,000 more people than last year.
Dude, it was like...
So a combination of things, right? Beautiful weather, but what I'm saying is this is very interesting moving forward, right? I've never seen Parks Canada or the town of Banff close an entrance. Maybe since COVID, they weren't letting people access amenities, whatever. I've never seen the town have to close an entrance due to busyness. So this could be a first, a precedent set moving into the summer that...
Well, we talked about it like a crap load during the town council elections. It was
exactly
one of our common questions was, would you support the cap on cars coming into the park? And it looks like that wasn't really, it's not really town of Banff. They can't do that right now. That's down to Parks Canada. So it's just wild that was that 3 months ago? And now it's actually happened for the first time, I think. I mean, correct us if we're wrong. I'm pretty sure that's one of the first times it's ever had to be that way.
For sure. We've seen this type of crowd control at Lake Louise before.
Yeah.
Obviously, giving their infrastructural challenges, it's mainly for emergency vehicles, right? So if anyone gets injured or whatever, you have to be able to move in and out. Now, I've never seen this happen at the town level in Banff. Now, again, hit us up in the comments if you have. But it just seems wild moving into the summer that a warm winter weekend with a free event, it just raises some real questions whether another busy summer, like what that might look like if there's days where we have to limit access to the park.
Well, like Canada Day especially, like it's obviously huge. You got here on Canada Day, so you know all about it.
Yeah.
But
A little side note, I did see on the Reddit that while the town was at full capacity, someone commented that allegedly the Banff Center Parkade was still not parked. So someone was just like, for what it's worth, there was still space in town on Saturday if they would have parked the Banff Center Parkade.
Wow.
are you allowed to park there?
Well, it is
not?
private property owned by the Banff Center, so they would probably have to
I was gonna say,
be
like-
implicit in that, and like, I don't know.
Dude, there were people parked all they like down by the inns of Banff there. They were like all the way down the side of the highway, like down to the compound and everything. It was wild.
So again, visitation, something we've been talking to, like Matt said, since before the municipal election, but it looks like some action needed to be taken this weekend, and it was. So, like we mentioned earlier, for those people complaining, you live in a tourist town.
Yeah.
People are going to be coming here, especially
Like
with free events.
what do you expect, man? It's like number one tourist destination in all of Canada. What do you want?
Exactly. Just expect it. You know what I mean? It's
Probably some negatives from it I saw. Things like litter. Like trash. Like
trash and
people,
empties. And,
just obviously the town's done really well to clean up.
for sure.
But it's the fact that people are visiting and then disrespecting.
Yeah,
the
that's
town.
the one thing that always
Yeah.
bothers me, like when you see people just leaving trash all over and like
I feel like that's more of a user perspective thing, though. Like, honestly, I did not go to the ski jour event. I was walking around trying to get to work before, and I saw some things that maybe weren't adjacent with the beliefs of the national park as far as, consumption in public.
I wonder how many like open
Illicit
container tickets
consumption
they
in
handed
public.
out. Like it was like Las Vegas. Like, I went out for a cigarette at work, and the amount of people walking down the alleyway just chugging beers and
Well, if you're trying to keep the family-friendly vibe, ski jour might have gone a little overboard as far as the consumption, especially like I mentioned, illegal consumption in the back alley. Like, I walked to work at 3:00 in the afternoon and was like, "This is out of hand."
Well, like it's
shortly after
one
police
thing
were there.
to have a quick beer down by the river. You're not bothering anybody. But when there's 40,000 people all just crushing beers on Main Street, it's that's a different story.
Now, okay. I thought of a little joke during this whole ski jour thing, right? Because you guys know, if you listen to the show, I'm an avid snowboarder, right? I like skiing, I like snowboarding. The popularity of this event, even we're so close to a ski hill.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I get it for people from rural communities and stuff. Like, maybe that's the only way that you can ski. But for me, like, the ski hill's like 10 minutes down the road. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's cool. It's fun.
You can go park up beside the park, like the park on Angel, and watch people do cork 10s all day.
Yeah.
So I was just I was like, I don't really get it, but hey, no, for a lot of communities around us, if you do want to ski, that is the reality. So.
Even the girlfriend was like, man, that looks so fun. Like, go get dressed up and like go down there. I'm like, you can come down next year if you want, but like, I'm just gonna warn you, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy. Side note, oh my god, ski jour weekend. I would hate to like give tips to thieves or anything, but like a jacket thief's wet dream. Oh my god, did you see the post? Like one lady posted like, oh my god, my grandma's fur got stolen.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Well, that's, you figure out real quick. It takes one stolen jacket from one bar in town on one night out, and you're like, maybe I don't leave my jacket laying around the bar anymore. I've had it. Dude, I literally, where was that? It was at...
But a family heirloom fur coat, man, you gotta keep your eyes on.
Dude,
man.
I was at Bruno's, like one of my first, 2 months here. Go to Bruno's. I think it was open mic night, actually. Chilling out. Had my jacket sitting on the back of a chair, and we were like one of the first tables. You remember Bruno's when you walk in? There was like those two tables right there.
Yeah.
And I was out front having a smoke. Like I could see the table. It was like 10 feet away from me. Walk back in, jacket's gone.
Yeah.
I was like, how the hell did that happen?
Yeah.
So,
Inattention, people are, again, they're under the effects of consumption.
Yeah.
So they might make a mistake or whatever, and like all the fur jackets look the same.
That's true.
Yeah,
Right?
fair
So,
enough. Yeah.
anyways, to the lady that posted that, I sure hope you got your family heirloom back because no one wants to see that happen.
no doubt.
But, it's kind of a user
Yeah.
thing, right? Anyways, thanks you everyone for tuning in.
No doubt.
Jay, thank you so much for coming and chatting with us, playing us a tune,
great.
man. I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
Yeah.
Of course, we run into each other
Yeah.
quite often.
No, I'm very grateful, man. I really appreciate you having me on, and I'm grateful to be in Banff as well, you know. So, yeah, this is something nice. I quite like it. But, you know, if anyone else listens, that's lovely. But, yeah.
Humble words from a humble man. Yeah, actually, the whole reason why I even asked you for the first interview is just I saw you walking, and I was like, this guy's got a cool look. He seems like a chill guy. Let's have a chat. And that was, yeah.
I was like, yeah, technically I'm an artist, but I'm not here as an artist. I'm volunteering.
And then, yeah, that was in the summer. And now months later, we have an EP landed. He works at one of my favorite stores. And here we are having a chat today. So thank you so much.
No worries, man.
It goes out to everyone here. You never know what'll happen when you end up in Banff.
That's right.
For sure. You might end up on the Overheard Podcast. Big thanks to Drink Shaft. Big thanks to the Brew Pub.
No doubt.
Big thanks to all of you for tuning in. If it's your first time, please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. We got plenty more coming. Next week, we're going back to DJs. We got a local DJ coming on.
Another one.
It's been a long time. Been a long time.
What do you mean?
since
You got a
we did
local DJ on the podcast every week, bro.
Yeah, I know, but like, I remember we got chirped one time on. Someone's like, "Oh, another DJ." It's like, come on, man. So yeah, tune in next week. If you haven't yet, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Big shout out to the town of Banff. Big shout out to Shaft Brew Pub. Big shout out to Skijuring, shutting down the town. That was pretty nuts.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, that's all we got for you this week. And like every week, we'll see you next
Tuesday.
Peace.